Hey friends. Hmm. I I we had a great show last night. Probably our best run of the show yet, and also a great audience. And a kind of lovely after party. It was kind of an exciting day for the production. And I've spent today talking about the play with Katie and celebrating where it has come from and where it is now and where it has yet to go. And I suppose I'm sort of just registering what the meaning of this process on another level. I've been it's inevitable in a long-term creative process that there are these moments of darkness where it feels like, where is this going? What's going to happen? Are we on the right track? Etc. And the longer term the project is, the sort of like larger the scale, both in terms of what it takes to put the piece together, resources and whatnot, but also in terms of time. The larger the scale, the larger those, the longer sometimes those sort of moments of questioning and walking through the foggy valley when you can't see where you're going, the longer those moments are. And it's really fun to emerge and be reminded of what's so wonderful about the process and what's so just deeply satisfying about it. I've been speaking over the last several days about how my own creative heart feels a need to be expressed, to be activated, and how this project really only kind of in some ways qualifies for that, and in other ways feels like there's something lacking. It's not even that it's lacking from this project, it's just that I have impulses that are, this is only one project. It's not meant to contain every creative impulse of a human being. I'm contributing exactly what I am meant to be contributing, but it just means that there's an opening for me to look for something else as well, or to remember to nurture these other sides of myself. And arriving at a moment of kind of celebration of this project and this piece is also really fun, because it means that I'm reminded of where my heart really is a part of this, and how my heart really is expressed and nurtured by this particular project, and it's a reminder of the process overall, that we will sometimes forget that. We will sometimes lose sight of that. It's not so simple. It's not simply the case that when we feel like, oh, I'm not being expressed, I'm not being heard, or I'm not, these kind of all these various ways in which the creative process can involve humbling experiences and even potentially painful experiences. It's just a great reminder that it's all training. It's all training. It's like there's an endurance aspect to it. It's like running a marathon. You know, how much of that will we? It's not so. I don't think that it's so much like, oh, how much pain are we willing to submit to, or how much, how much, like, no pain no gain are we willing to, like, really go through the pain in order to prevail. I don't necessarily see it in quite those terms. I do see it as challenging our faith and challenging our just capacity to remain centered. We had this big party last night after the show, which I can't even. It's like I haven't been up that late since I was probably in my 20s, and I kept, as I was getting to the end of the evening, I was like, sort of getting this forlorn feeling of like, it's so late, I'm not going to get any rest, I have to do 2 shows tomorrow, what am I doing here? And I caught myself, because I've been watching these Sadhguru videos, and I watched Sadhguru talk about getting 4 hours of sleep a night, 2-3 hours of sleep a night for years on end. And he says, that's enough sleep. Now, this is probably a human being with such a highly refined and purified system, and like all 114 chakras are vibrating at, like, the speed of light. So his energetic level is just, it's not standard human. It's not a standard human system that we're talking about. But I think about that and I go, well, what's he doing? How is he remaining healthy and not just functional, but prophetic? And I go, maybe I can handle like one late night party. Maybe like one night of sleep where I don't get that much. I can maybe deal with that. But that doesn't just mean, okay, so throw up your hands and give up. It's more like, okay, well, where does my psyche go? Where does my attention go? How do I live in my body? How do I feel my body? Do I, because there's a kind of, as I was getting forlorn last night, I noticed myself, it's like my psyche and my emotions were sort of traveling outside my body, and it felt like I was almost like getting pulled off center, getting pulled out of my axis, pulled out of my core. And I was like, but is that necessary? What if I just come back? What if, yes, it's insanely late at night. Yes, I'm going to get a much less sleep than I thought, or than I would have liked, but what if I'm okay with that? What if I can be totally kind of pan-systemically okay with that? Not be at war with that. If everything is serving me, what if even an obscenely late night is serving me? Okay, maybe it is, And so I just kind of came back to my body, came back to my core, and relaxed. And instantly, what happens? Well, I get energized. I'm reconnected to the source. I'm not putting this experience or these circumstances or this problem outside myself. I'm coming back into connection, and all of a sudden I feel totally healthy, and like my system is fine. I'll get rest in a day or two. I become capable of managing it. It's more the psychological erosion of trust that's the enemy. It's not the actual thing that's a problem. So So yeah, I kind of got off on a tangent there in terms of my experience last night and today, but that was actually a pretty powerful aspect of what has come through over the last 24 hours or so, is just coming to a place of real celebration and recalling how it's like verifying and confirming and affirming that those moments of doubt, those moments of questioning and doubt are the gift. They are the gift. They are it's like the weights that we're lifting in the gym to build the muscles of faith, to put it in sort of, those terms. But that's really what it feels like. That's really what it really feels like. There is work being done, and it is productive, it is important, it's formative, it's in all ways completely supporting us if we can stay in the core. And we only get there by staying in it. There's something Chogyam Trungpa always says in his book. He talks about how if we're truly walking the path of the warrior, we can never throw up our hands and say that I'm going to pieces or that the world is going to pieces. That throwing up of our hands and saying, oh, everything is just falling apart, And in times like these, there's a temptation to do that. And I feel like we've, as a country and as a world, been in a place where for many years now, there've been a whole slew of potential triggers for us to say, I throw up my hands, I give up. I can't handle how horrible everything is. It's so bad. We are falling apart or whatever. And I love the Chogyam Trungpa that basically insists we can never do that. We can never do that. It's not like a moral thing. It's just that when we do that, it's our own integrity that is being compromised. It's not actually emblematic of reality. It's our own integrity that we're giving up. We're throwing our own integrity to the wind and saying, I'm falling apart. I can't handle this. Which is not wrong. It's just probably not, it's probably also not helpful. Like it's probably gonna mean that we just go into a tailspin for a while and then inevitably our soul regains control. Our soul says, okay, that's enough of that. I want to come back to my center, and then we kind of have to, we can pull ourselves together again. Right? And I think his point, Chogyam Trungpa's point, is why indulge in the tailspin for even a moment longer than we have to, if what's ultimately true is that this is all serving us, but that realization is being tested over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it will just continue to be tested because our power, that literally is our empowerment. Our empowerment grows like a balloon, like a sphere of energy or light, or that it grows in capacity to withstand that kind of pressure, that grows in capacity to hold complexity, and to withstand doubt, to feel doubt, not to pretend like we don't feel it, but to withstand it. That's the big one that's coming through. So, thank you, folks. I appreciate you. I love you. As I say frequently, but maybe not frequently enough, this conversation is so much the core of my practice right now, and what keeps me in my center and allows me to continue to express, and creates the imperative for me to be there and to really know my own core. So I appreciate you very deeply. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.